Hello folks, welcome back to the Value Vintage Cards channel. Today I'm going to share with you three of the ugliest sets that I've grown to appreciate. So I don't have a lot from either set, and in fact they're both really teeny tiny little sets, but they're both in that like sweet spot of vintage collecting. So a little just barely pre-war and a little bit just barely post-war, and actually one kind of during war, which is really interesting. So let's dive in. I'll start with the oldest, just because it's closest to me. So 1933, we've got Gaudy, we got Diamond Stars coming out soon, we've got the U.S. Caramel set, we got DeLongs, we got the regular, good golly, what else am I missing in there? There's so many different sets from that era that I feel like my brain explodes with the options at this point. So this is probably the ugliest, but like I said, it's grown on me a lot. So if you look at that thing, that's Bill Terry. 1933 Eclipse Import, hand cut. This one's fair. It's card number 405, but they don't really start till the 400s. So it's really, when you start digging in, there's a few numbers that were never done, but they have a couple unnumbered ones, so it kind of catches up for it. But there's only about 24 cards in the set. So super, super tiny. So set collectors, be on alert. That's an easy one. Only problem is, so I've got two of the, maybe a third of the set's Hall of Famers roughly. And then there's another chunk of the set that you probably at least have heard of the players. So they were, decent regulars that played for some years. But there's two monsters really. I think I have two like the next tier guys, but, there's a Jimmy Fox, which can go for many, many hundreds and get into the thousands. And there's a Babe Ruth. The Babe Ruth tends to sell for about the same as the Gaudy. So if you've seen a few people, and it's, somewhere between I really like it and sinfully ugly. Most tend to err on the latter in terms of their opinion, but I think once you see them enough, you're like, that's kind of cool. It's definitely different. No one else has done it like that. It's a artistic impression. Here's the other one, which I guess if you were ranking like the top, I would say he's probably third in the set in terms of, collectability and price and everything else. So Lefty Grove. It's kind of neat that it is like in-action stuff. I'm getting massive glare trying to get you to see that thing, but it's a 2.5 BVG. The nice thing of these two, actually I guess I can hold them both up just for perspective. I'm not trying to let you read that. It's easy enough to do. But it is a nice write-up on the back. Robert Lefty Grove, William Bill Terry, and then talks a little bit about, their recent seasons, their careers, some different things on there. So those are neat. Actually, I've come to appreciate those. I tend to collect Jimmy Fox, but I haven't found one that's affordable enough, and Babe Ruth, of course, would be on the list, but there's definitely some other pretty good Hall of Fame players within that set. So that's considered a R337, I believe. I'm going to confirm that before I lie to you. Yes, R337. The other set that I would say is considered to be somewhat unattractive to most, and, I would agree until you look at it for a little bit, is also in the R series. It's an R302. So the way they label those with them being R. So it's another hand-cut series. This one's interesting for when it came out. So it came out in 1943. So we tend to see like 41 is kind of the end of the pre-war. We see, the explosion again at like 48, 49, where you start seeing some tops and Bowman and Leaf issues and things coming out. Middle of that, there's not a lot of choices. So one of the neat things, and if you've not seen one of these, they are, generally unattractive. They're not even trying to make it look like the player necessarily. They are hand cut. So Hank Greenberg, at least shown as being a hitter, makes some sense. But the write-ups on the back, Hank Greenberg has been voted the most valuable player in baseball twice. They give the years. Hank has been hitting at a terrific clip for 10 years. In 1938, Hank had 58 homers, too short of the all-time record. Hank is in the Army now and is doing as swell job there too. A swell job there too. Sorry. My version is actually a little bit cut and choppy, but like I said, I love a good write-up. So the image is, yeah, I mean, you know, takes the mother's care to appreciate that face. Maybe that's not really the prettiest of cards, or father, I guess. Yeah. But when you're looking at that, and the write-up on the back is just so unique, I really do appreciate that. So I picked up a Greenberg, and to give you an idea, I mean, that was more than 50, less than 100. It's in pour, but again, hand cut, unless you're missing, you know, paper and things like that. Another set of 24 too. How weird is that? So teeny tiny little sets of set collectors. Radar up. I got a Carl Hubble. I picked that up initially just so I could say I have one from the set, and it's, you know, $20. I mean, I think on the back it says they were asking 30 when they sold it, but neat little write up. Just picked up a Bill Dickey. I've come to have a bias towards catcher cards. That is the weirdest looking catcher gear ever. But I do like Bill Dickey an awful lot. Anyone that can mentor and help Yogi Berra and also be best friends with Lou Gehrig is pretty darn interesting. And by the way, he hit, 313 in a career and was a Hall of Fame catcher, so that's cool. That's the short, you know, give me the elevator pitch on why I should be interested in Bill Dickey. To me, that's a pretty cool little 1 second bio. This one I had to pick up. 1943, still early in his career, definitely not rookie, but another person that was, you know, another player in the service. In fact, I think a good portion of these are Bob Feller, cannonballer, the 4 years prior to enlistment in the Naval Reserve in 1941. So they talk about his career and then his enrollment in the service. So, like I said, short little write-up is neat. The other thing that catches my attention, those that are with me understand that, Bobby Feller, love that. It's not just Bob Feller, it's Bobby. I don't think I've seen Bobby Feller printed too often. So 1933, 1943, unique little niche in the world there. Here's the other one. So they continued the set, essentially. It's literally R302-2. That's like -1, this is -2. So in 1949, let's just do we'll do the friendly handoff. We'll go from mentor Bill Dickey over to student Larry Berra. They did better on the catching outfit. That's not too far off of his 50 Bowman. So I've shown that card a couple of times, I think, at this point. Love the write-up. It actually talks about him being coached by Bill Dickey on the back. So Larry Yogi Berra. Yeah, I like that. So 49, that would be what, like his second/third card year type thing. So early in his career for sure. And then the other one really should be considered another rookie, but it's probably too sinfully ugly and almost insulting in how they depict him even in cartoon form. So definitely heard a couple of harsh critiques from other videos that I've been watching. You know, skin tone issues. They definitely didn't work too hard to make him look like he was an African American player. But the other thing that's painful here is they make him out to look like he's, I mean, I guess he's in the outfield, but he bats left, he throws right, I believe. So, whoops. But right up on the back, still solid, still fun. Larry Doby. If you had to identify Larry Doby by picture, that would never do it. Unfortunately, they did a really bad job on the image there. But again, sometimes it's just so bad that it's good. It's so ugly that you like it. And so those are a couple of different sets. I don't know if we call that 2 or 3. Either way, it's the MP and Co. So the last one was like a candy issue. It came in strips. It was cut. So distribution, I think, was decent, but not nearly as mainstream and prevalent as some of the others. And again, the cost, the price point to get something in the 40s for those Hall of Fame players. I think even the Ted Williams and Joe DiMaggio, if you can pick up and moderately beat up for a couple $100. So that's a tremendous value when you take a look at the scope of their card ranges in that time period. So if it's sets you don't know, dive in, take a look. If you can get past the images or grow to love them like I have, you could have a nice little, fun, easy set to collect, or at least pick up a few of your players that are on the affordable side of, what they might normally be for the, mainstream issue cards. So, wishing everybody a very, very good day. I will catch you next time with another video. Take care.